I'll be here by myself. I just spent 10K on cologne. Well, spend it over here with me instead of spending it with the white man, brother. Come on. Why are you trying to flex 10,000 on me like that instead of just spending it with your brother? I would have gave you a discount. Instead of spending 10,000, you probably only would have spent 8,300. But instead you want to waste it with the white man. It was with a brother who's under the white man. It wasn't a brother who got his own LLC. He in a company with a white man. Can't believe niggas. Niggas is not your niggas. See, this is why black men can't never unite with each other. Because they going to go spend it with the white man. Why you ain't going to go spend it with the black man? I'm right here. This is crazy. This is crazy.
I've been on the phone all
No, get out my face. Get out my face. You just another T Grizzly. You another T.
I've been diving deep into the conspiracy, trying to figure out what's true.
What's true
about this conspiracy?
What's true?
And the conspiracy that I'm referring to is the conspiracy that T Grizzly enlisted the help of Chicago dudes.
I just had to get a new gun. It took me like 60 days to get that gun. Man.
The murder
is crazy, mud. I just had to get a new gun, and they just stopped me from posting on my Etsy. You gotta pay a monthly fee just to post on your Etsy, mud.
Impregnated to make that scandal go away and to retain back his masters from her.
What?
I've been trying to uncover what's
if that's what T Grizzly did just for some masters.
There's a lot of inconsistency in this story, but the one thing that's consistent, after speaking to a lot of people, receiving information from Jobina Brown's camp, from people within T Grizzly's camp, after having information from them transfer over to me, the one thing that is consistent, it's not looking good for T Grizzly. That's the only thing that's consistent. So
oh my
God. The aunt of T Grizzly was shot and killed in Detroit on Tuesday night, August 20th. Comments about her death began surfacing Wednesday, August 21st on social media before her passing was confirmed by TMZ. According to law enforcement sources, a shooter opened fire on Grizzly's Cadillac Escalade while the vehicle was traveling around Detroit. The gunman allegedly approached on foot and shot Brown, who was sitting in the back seat in her left side. Grizzly was reportedly riding in the passenger seat and got out of the vehicle as the shooter approached. The driver said the attacker fired 3 or 4 shots and noted that Brown screamed before the gunfire began. Brown was rushed to a local hospital but died from her wounds. She was 41 years
crazy.
old. Police don't know if Grizzly was the intended.
It's sad. Nigga says it's not looking good like that nigga locked up, man. They finna do a Rico on his ass damn near.
Of the attack. He and the driver were unharmed.
From my perspective, this entire
like how the fuck you leave out right before they come shoots up the car? Ooh, that don't sound good at all.
The only suspect who has been arrested so far was arrested 2 months after the incident. When Wu Thing, aka Wu 600 from Chicago, was initially arrested for the murder of T Grizzly's auntie Jobina Brown,
I never knew that.
The streets of Detroit was talking almost immediately. People was calling this a backdoor from the very beginning.
JBT Grizzly manager auntie got killed by 600 OTF Buka. That's backdoor. Got smoked by OTF Buka. Damn, by 600 Buka. Damn. Niggas is moving wonky. No faking.
Everybody on the east side know that. Nigga, them been facts. What you talking about? How the you don't know?
How you don't know?
You know that everybody who killed everybody and popped everybody, but you don't know how Sunday got down on auntie though. Bro, what you think? What kind of crime reporter is you? You mean?
People initially thought when people in Detroit was calling it a backdoor, they were referring to OTF or 600 backdooring T Grizzly, because at the time T Grizzly was really close with OTF and 600 through Buka 600. So when a 600 member murdered his auntie, people thought, man, did OTF or 600 like backdoor T Grizzly? It wasn't until time went by and
they found out that this was planned.
Like, hold on. OTF for 600 couldn't have backdoor.
This was planned? Yo. Yo. Yeah. What's that? Her big ass scared. He's still fucking with 600, right?
Because the killer of T Grizzly Wu-Tang was arrested in 2019. In 2022 or 2023, T Grizzly did a joint album with Lil Durk. In 2024, T Grizzly made Buka 600 right-hand mans with the killer Wu-Tang, his groomsmen for his wedding. So T Grizzly was becoming closer
with these
like probably closer than ever with the alleged parties that murdered his auntie.
Like
so
what?
It couldn't have been a backdoor, because if it was a backdoor, if he felt like his life was in danger, because T Grizzly did multiple interviews saying that they were coming after him, that the shooters opened up the car door looking for him. So if the parties who murdered your auntie was actually looking for you,
why you ain't scared?
Be like friendlier with them.
Why you hating with them?
You wouldn't make Buka 600 your groomsman. You wouldn't
something ain't adding
do
up.
A song with Lil Durk or a joint album with Lil Durk, and the only Lil Durk ties here is Buka 600 is signed to OTF, but Lil Durk has nothing to do with this whatsoever. So that's when the theories of maybe T Grizzly backdoor his auntie. Maybe
backdoor
your
auntie.
His auntie has to be killed. Now I have the full indictment of Wu-Tang, and the full indictment, I believe, tells a story that leans more towards somebody backdoor that auntie. I don't know if it's T Grizzly, but the indictment and the story told in the indictment lends me to believe that somebody backdoored that auntie.
Oh man.
Let's get into the full indictment and what evidence they got on Wu-Tang that led to his arrest.
The internet stays solving the case. It's
which
crazy.
Was a blue Nissan with the license plates HRK 4937. They traveled to Michigan the day before, and then 2 hours after the homicide, they traveled to Chicago. The vehicle was a rental car, so when they didn't return the vehicle after the homicide,
it's reported
the vehicle stolen. Even though the vehicle was reported stolen, even though the vehicle was involved in a homicide 2 months prior, Wu-Tang was still driving around Chicago in that vehicle,
like
knowing how hot it was. Well, he was parked in an alleyway one night, October 19th, 2019.
That's the dumbest shit ever.
The police pulled up because they ran the tags and they seen the vehicle was reported stolen. They attempted to initiate a stop. He ran away. He was eventually caught. He was ultimately arrested and charged for being in possession of a stolen vehicle. But get this, and this is where you really start to look at these dudes like,
you're dumbasses.
Just professional dudes.
You got the gun and the weapon. I mean, you got the weapon and the car of the crime. Both car and weapon is the dumbest shit ever. Maybe car. You got the car. Somebody sold you a stolen car. Okay. No, you got the stolen car that was used in the crime and the gun that was used in the crime. Nigga, you're the criminal.
So on top of being caught in a stolen vehicle that was used in a homicide 2 months prior, he was also caught with a firearm. And after ballistics was done on the firearm that he was arrested with, ballistics shows that not only was the vehicle connected to the homicide, not only was the vehicle identified as being the getaway vehicle of the homicide of Jobina Brown, but he was also found in possession of the firearm that was also used in the murder of Jobina Brown. Ballistics shows that this was the firearm that killed Jobina Brown. This is where we introduce new information that I didn't include in my last video. And this is the part of the video where we start looking at T Grizzly a little crazy. We start looking at T Grizzly with a side eye here. You see, T Grizzly told the story of what happened the night of the murder. T Grizzly stated that he was with his auntie / manager, Jobina Brown. They made a last-minute stop at one of his other auntie's crib for him to check on some business. Jobina Brown decided to stay in the car and wait outside because she didn't like germs. He was only gonna go inside and come back out right away. It was a last-minute pit stop, right? Let's hear T Grizzly tell the story, and we're about to find out why this new information that we received
is damning.
Kind of blow up that version of the story. It kind of, not only would I say debunks it,
damn,
T is
fuck.
Thinking that maybe T Grizzly is telling some fibs here.
So the night everything happened, man, can you kind of go over?
We heard this part.
I know y'all was at the studio. I seen you on your Instagram.
Yeah, so we was at the studio with Guapo and Jay Swan or whatever, and I'm going over my cousin's house, my older cousin.
Cousin,
he was real close
auntie.
to my pops, just like my pops' brother.
We done heard different
And I always try to,
things.
you know what I'm saying, show him some love because that's another wound we really ain't healed from.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I went over there, and I was telling her, like, come in the house. And she like, no, I don't want to go in. I'm begging her to come in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain areas, you just can't, you got to move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't about where you at. I could go anywhere I want to.
Right.
But I got to move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm moving right, can't nothing happen to me. So I'm telling her to come in the house. She like, no. Because JB was kind of like funny acting about dirty houses.
Okay.
And stuff like that. The house wasn't even dirty, but to her, she just a clean, real clean person.
Okay.
It's like, no, I don't want to go in them people's house. I don't want to sit on their furniture and all that stuff in there. So I'm like, all right, I'll be right back. So I'm knocking on the door. My people's taking so long to come to the door. You know what I'm saying? And they finally come to the door. As soon as I see her, as soon as I see my auntie, she about to open the door. I just hear a whole bunch of shots going off.
Soon as you
know what I'm saying?
see the door about to open.
Behind me, I hear a whole bunch of shots going off. So I get down because I'm thinking they about to come to the side and start, you know what I'm saying, shooting at me, and I ain't got nothing on me at the time. My cousin ran out with a gun. I'm like, perfect. So we ran out on the street. When we ran out, my driver was gone with no cars out there. I'm like,
She was in,
so the driver
what was the vehicle? She was in the car? Like,
yeah, she was in the car. She was in the car.
Okay.
She was in the car on the street. So my cousin ran out with the gun or whatever, and we ran out in the front to see what's going on and to, if somebody up on us, we gonna get them off us. Basically what happened, they walked up to my door and opened my door. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas opened my door trying to get at me. End up hitting her up.
Would they hit her on the body?
They hit her on her side and in her arm. She didn't get hit in her head or her face and nothing, just all on her side. You feel me?
How many
on
times?
The side where her heart at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on the side where her heart at too. So that's.
T Grizzley said the killers were looking for him because he exited out of the vehicle from a specific side of the car. When he exited out of the vehicle, he went to the side porch to get let in. The killers couldn't see he was at the side porch, but they knew what side of the vehicle he was in. So when the killers seen the vehicle was parked, they went to the vehicle and opened up the side of the vehicle that T Grizzley was sitting in before he exited out. They opened it up and began to shoot at the auntie because they thought the auntie was him, because they thought he was sitting there. Again, if the killers couldn't see T Grizzley because he was at the side porch, that would mean they didn't see T Grizzley get out the car because they would have just followed him. Then that would mean the only reason why they would know that T Grizzley was sitting on that specific side was because they seen T Grizzley get in the vehicle on that particular side and they followed him to the location. Here's why that don't make sense, and here's why the facts of the case actually debunks everything T Grizzley just said.
Damn.
It sort of opens this case up where anybody can be a suspect, and dare I say T Grizzley could be a suspect. Wu Thing kept his phone on the entire time he committed this homicide.
What?
I don't know what I would expect from someone who was still in possession
of the gun
getaway vehicle
and
the murder weapon, but he kept his phone on the entire time. And they were able to trace him coming into Michigan and leaving Michigan after the homicide. But they were also able to pin him at the crime scene. And this is why T Grizzly's story don't make sense at all. The cell phone towers pinged Wu Thing's cell phone at the murder scene for more than an hour and 56 minutes. So it started ping.
What the fuck? And continuing until 8:56 minutes before the shooting.
Around 7 p.m. and continued pinging until 8:56 p.m., which is minutes before the shooting occurred. That means that Wu Thing was at the murder scene for an hour and 56
watching, stalking.
He was at the murder
like he knew they was gonna pull up there, right? That mean he must have knew they was gonna pull up there, right? If he's just gonna sit there the whole time for 2 hours, drove into Michigan just to sit there for 2 hours.
It's before T Grizzley and them got there. So he was hiding out. He was waiting. He was
stalking them, hiding in the bushes.
That location. How did the shooter know that T Grizzley and his aunt was gonna be at the location if the location was an impromptu stop? If the location was hey yo, let's stop right here real quick. How did they know to wait out at that address?
How did they know, Chad?
6 minutes waiting for them to
See,
show
this
up.
ain't looking good.
It doesn't make sense whatsoever. And also, if they was at the location for an hour and 56 minutes, then they seen T Grizzly get out the
car,
which will make sense. They didn't see him get in the vehicle because they wasn't at the location when he got in the vehicle. But they seen him get out the vehicle. They seen him walk to the side porch, which is why they came over, opened up that car vehicle knowing he wasn't going to be there, and began shooting. This is just theory, people. And began shooting.
No, this is crazy. That's what it's looking like.
This is the only story that makes sense, people. The only story. I'm not saying T Grizzly is responsible for backdooring his auntie. I don't know. I'm saying T Grizzly's story got to start adding up, people. It got to start adding up. How did the killer know to wait out at that location for an hour and 56 minutes if the location was an impromptu stop?
Doesn't make sense.
The killer was at the location. You got out. They could have easily haunted you down, went and got you from the side porch. They watched you exit out the vehicle. They was at the location, and they let you go away. And they came and killed your auntie. What beef would they have with your auntie? It doesn't make sense, people.
It doesn't make sense
at all. T Grizzly offered up a response, and this is his response to everything you just heard. Okay.
I just think the niggas about to go around trying to clear no shit up because it is what it is. As far as like, you know, I ain't about to be certain shit you can't entertain, bro. Especially when it's absolutely nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But you do got a lot of motherfuckers that go to the internet and think that everything they see on that bitch is facts. It's not a place for facts.
Okay, T, this doesn't sound pretty convincing.
You can see some shit dead in your base, chat. That's not true. So you think you can't be fooled by the fucking internet, bro? Bullshit.
So what will the motive be for T Grizzly to do this to his auntie, the backdoor, his auntie/manager? And they're not blood auntie. Now, I talked to someone who was literally at the funeral of Jobina Brown. They were at the funeral, bruh. Yo, I was told even at the funeral, people were suspecting T Grizzly because he did like interviews where like people close to the situation were kind of concerned about the stories kind of not really matching up in certain, you know, in some interviews. I think in one interview, like T Grizzly said, yo, it was like a drive-by. They came and shot it up. Then the next interview, they said, you know, they came and opened up the door to look for him and then shot the auntie. So again, those are not really a big deal, but it don't really line up perfectly. I was told from someone particular that even when Jobina Brown and this person would be talking or getting close, T Grizzly would get jealous. That at times, like T Grizzly would kind of get jealous, and Jobina Brown would tell this person, "Yo, T Grizzly, keep asking me about you, keep asking me why we're talking, blah blah." And Jobina Brown will confide in this person that she actually had an intimate relationship with T Grizzly.
No,
but the thing with this is, Jobina Brown is T Grizzly's uncle's wife, who's in prison. Again, don't quote me on this, but I think the uncle is in prison. I think Jobina Brown is the uncle's wife. She's not blood related, but she's related through marriage, I believe. So, smashing the uncle's wife allegedly got her pregnant. According to courtroom reporters, that was allegedly brought up the first day of trial. That Jobina Brown could be pregnant from T Grizzly's baby.
What the fuck?
So that's a motive. The uncle is in prison. You got her pregnant. She not trying to abort it. Man, we got it. That could be one thing. Jobina Brown invested in T Grizzly really early on when nobody else would. Right? It is reported that she apparently owns a portion of T Grizzly's masters. He wanted it back. He signed a deal with her like fresh out of prison. That's like a management deal. He wanted it back. She wouldn't give it up.
Damn.
That could be motivation. I don't know. And I'm not saying T Grizzly is involved. What I'm telling you is the facts of this case.
Free is T free?